Amazon is the latest company set to have its tax take investigated by the European Commission. The Financial Times has learned that Brussels is to launch a probe into whether the retail giant reaped potentially illegal state subsidies from Luxembourg, the hub for its European operations. Well, Vanessa Holder, our tax correspondent, joins me now. Vanessa, could you just briefly start by describing what this probe is all about?
As you've said, we think the Commission's about to open an in-depth investigation into Amazon's tax affairs in Luxembourg. Our office in Brussels believes that they have found evidence there was an unorthodox ruling that the company struck in 2003, and at issue is the question of how much profit was actually booked in Luxembourg and how much flowed through to a company which held its intellectual property. And how did the company agree that with the Luxembourg authorities? So the Commission will look at that, and if it finds evidence that it was an illicit state aid because it favourably gave selective favourable treatment to Amazon, well then it is entitled to tell Luxembourg to reclaim that tax.
Now, Amazon's tax structures have already come under fire from politicians in the UK and in France. How much of a setback is this for the company? How damaging could it be?
Certainly with the criticism from MPs, there were calls for boycotts. It's probably fair to say there's almost no evidence that this has had a damaging effect on Amazon's business. Amazon is a very low-cost company, its margins are very thin, and people still like using it. So these tax disputes, and it's got some big disputes with the US and also in France. The US $1.5 billion. Is being argued about, France $250 million. Clearly, if it gets a lot of tax disputes and they go against it, that could be damaging.
And it's also a politically sensitive issue, isn't it, when you consider that Jean-Claude Juncker, the incoming European Commission President, was previously the Prime Minister of Luxembourg?
Yes, there are some real political sensitivities here, and initially, when the Commission asked Luxembourg to provide evidence, provide information on all its rulings, Luxembourg refused, and the whole issue was sent up to the European Court. Since Mr Juncker was elected as the new Commission President, actually things have eased, and there's more cooperation apparently with Luxembourg. And Mr Juncker has also told the incoming competition Commissioner that he wants to continue on this subject of tax. So I think this will continue even though we have Luxembourg's former Premier in charge.
Vanessa Holder, thank you very much.